Thanks for staying with us. So parents are protesting over the increment of boarding fees the Lagos State government has recently placed and have insisted that the awards will not resume until it's revised. However, the Lagos State government is also insisting to stay on the new boarding fee for 100,000 naira per term against the old fee of 35,000 naira charged each student of his model college across the state. According to them, the school doesn't charge tuition. They want the government to house and feed their kids with 300 naira daily while holding iPhones and driving fancy cars. This has caught our attention, and on that premise, we'll be looking at the ongoing debates and protests surrounding the increment of boarding fees for students of Lagos schools, otherwise known as model colleges. This increment is by 185.71%. So you can join the conversation and call us on 081-076-41679 or 0902-416-3440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. So, first of all, no vex. I had to pull the glasses because I was not seeing a long distance with it. I forgot, actually. So, I saw this protest ongoing, and I had to read a lot of comments. People are for and against. And now some persons are saying that times are hard now. Everybody needs to make an increment in their services. Any service that you offer, any product that you sell, it's only right for you to make an increment, because by the time you do your calculations, you find out that you will likely be losing out and not benefiting anything from that business. But on that side, this is also government support. You know, it's a government school, and government schools are actually supposed to be free. And some persons were worried that why did the boarding fee not also, since they are not paying tuition, why are they also not allowed to come into the school free while the government handles everything? And other persons are saying that these schools have rich people attending the schools, and they can afford to have their Range Rovers and have their iPhones. Why can't they afford to pay 1,000 per day if you calculate it? And you know, I think there's also the argument is just, yes, and I would like to hear your thoughts on it.
There's a lot of generalization on both parts. So there's generalization on the part of the parents who feel that, why can't the government, the conversation always starts with, government children are traveling abroad. Government children get to experience the best education everywhere. Why would they now starve the general populace to be able to afford basic quality education? And that's generalizing the fact that the government can't afford it and they choose to be wicked to the citizenry. Then there's the generalizing on the part of the government that everybody whose parents, every parent whose child is in a model college can afford to pay 100,000 naira and have smartphones that give them that life. Not true. I'm not in support of the government making this decision. And even while there are many logical reasons to back up why the government has increased school fees by over 185%, we have a clear problem with education in Nigeria. We have many children out of school. We have many dropouts on the streets of Lagos and the country entirely, that we must do everything possible to get more children in school and not anything that will take children out of school. Okay. And it will not be easy. It is about prioritizing. What is more important? Should I train my citizenry? Should I train the future of this state so that I will have less headache in future? Or should I tell them I can't help myself? A willing mind will find 1,000 ways, and a willing mind will find 1,000 excuses. There are legitimate excuses for the government not to pay, continue this subsidy, at least for now. You can come as a government and say that we want to raise the fee to 100,000 naira, but we understand that these parents are also facing the fact that they are paying petrol price, which has gone up. Yeah. They are facing power prices that have gone up. They are facing inflation with food. They are facing so many challenges that are outside at the same time. So for us as a state, in understanding the plight of our parents, we are going to keep this price low, but we'll give you 1 year advance notice. Because right now people are being hit by left, right, center with bills that it's just annoying bills. Like you're wondering what's going on. Today is power, tomorrow is phone. That's like everywhere. So you are not putting that extra on the school fees from a government school. I can even understand private school is a business, but government school, no, there's no justification. I don't agree with it.
Okay, Ramatu.
Okay, so what I would just say is this. Because when I was coming today, I heard in the radio a lady was complaining. She said that the increase didn't come since. It just came when it was just 2 days to resumption day, and you know they had planned. But we all know, because of the way the economy was, going, we all all know that schools were going to increase their fees. I think they increased the fees in my children's school as well. And also, the only problem I have is the fact that, yes, it's okay for government to increase, but tremendous increase, at least, they should just increase it a little bit. Don't make it too much that everybody will not be able to, people will not be able to afford. And another thing that they're saying that in this school, there are rich people and also there are people who are poor that are in that school. So we must make sure that we give room, we put them into consideration when we are fixing this kind of prices so that they'll be able to afford it as well. And that school, the model school, I know, they offer a certain kind of balance. That's why the rich people go to those schools. We don't just judge from the from rich children's kids. That's why they are saying, yes, that's why they are saying.
In our own time. Continue.
Let's qualify it very well.
Let's qualify it.
Exactly. So they said because they're saying that they park big cars and all of that to those schools and all. But I know that a lot of those kind of schools, there's a kind of balance they give to children. First of all, let's talk about religion. They allow everybody to practice their religion. They do the Muslim, the Christian. Then number two, there's balance between the poor and the rich. Everybody goes there, mix up. You know, you can learn from them, learn from the rich, learn from the poor, everything, you know. And again, those schools, you wash your clothes by yourself. You learn some basic learn house chores and all of that there, you know, as in cleaning and all of that. So I think that's what attracts the higher class, you know, to put their kids in those kind of schools. But that's not even a yardstick to start saying because rich people go to that school, they should be able to pay the 100,000 and not even fuse about it. And the idea of car, saying that they drive exotic cars and all of that. Car is not luxury the way we look at it in Nigeria. Car is a necessity. You understand? It's a necessity. You need it. And sometimes you can see the car is flashy and everything. Have you entered inside the car? Sometimes the car is not even really okay like that. And the fact that somebody has a car does not mean that he's not going through stuff.
Life. It's not coming from a lot.
He's not going through a lot as well. So people are going through stuff. So don't just judge based on the type of car the person is driving. The person should be able to afford and not complain. No, people are, even the rich, they go through stuff as well. So I think the government should just look into it and make the increase a little bit bearable so that the poor.
I like your thoughts, Ramatu. Yeah. Very interesting. Miriam, are you ready?
Yes, I am. So I have used this platform really to advocate for free education at primary and secondary school level because I feel that at that level, every Nigerian child deserves an education. It should not matter your economic background, where you're coming from. Everyone should get an education. But I am also a Nigerian living in these times, and I know that things are hard. And one thing I also understand with my country is that where we insist for things to be free, it might also mean that the quality of that education will be nothing. What teachers are we going to now employ? Because if the schools cannot manage based on the low fees or free education that they are giving, they may not be able to pay teachers well. And so what quality of teachers will we be getting? What quality of infrastructure will our children be staying in times where insecurity is a major issue? What sort of quality of security do we think our children will be provided with if we insist on free education right now? I still feel that there's a middle ground, and the middle ground would be that, first of all, I need to address what you said earlier, which is the timing was wrong. That's not fair. Definitely, by the time a school term ends or a school year ends, you should already be talking to parents about the increment in your fees and likely the percentage, you know. And parents and teachers, the Parent-Teachers Association with the school board will have that conversation and prepare themselves. You cannot tell a group of parents 2 days before resumption that fees have increased. It does not make sense. But now we've said that, right? We know that things are expensive. Nigeria, everybody's complaining. Health sector, there's no sector today that is not facing, you know, some sort of hardship or the other. So for me, what I think may be the balance is we need to start looking at scholarships. You know, it's true. Model schools, it attracts many people from diverse backgrounds, and a lot of people who have money, who can afford the school and more, go to those schools because of some of the amenities that you said and some of the culture of that school. then there are some people that those are the schools that they can afford to go to, or else there's no education for them. So for those who cannot afford 100,000, can we have their list and make sure that we're able to provide scholarships for them? Then for those who are able to, most scholarship, whatever I see, they would ask you to give your parents, the requirement, they ask you to give your parents, account details and things like that. They check to make sure that you're eligible for scholarship so that you're not lying about it. So just for this time being, until the country figures itself out, and in figuring itself out, the long term for me is free primary and secondary school education for Nigerian children. There are too many Nigerian children left behind, and the future is scary because of that. Because when you let these children, they grow into adults, and they have no place to go to because they have not received basic education. That is my fear.
Become a problem.
Yes, they'll become a big problem. So government, please, long-term plan is free education. Mid-term plan, this period, this first term, I don't know how you are going to do it. If it's 2 days notice you have given them, you have to waive it. But by next year, parents should start thinking that prices are going to increase, and then let's talk about scholarships for children that can't afford this.
Okay, amazing. I like that. Let's take this caller if he's still on the line. Sonia from Surulere. Good morning, Sonia.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Can barely hear you. Need volume,
Hello,
please.
good morning.
Good morning. You're live.
Okay. Yeah, concerning the challenge on hand. Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm Koya, not Soya.
Okay.
Hello?
We can hear you. Give your thoughts, please.
Okay. You see, the problem at hand is very simple. As far as, we can be willing to look at it from all angles. The government should be willing to probably give these parents a little time to probably pay instrumentally, and then equally review what they call, the boarding fee from probably 100,000 say to like 70 or 75,000 naira. Thinking that you can just take it up to like 180% is something that would not be meaningful now. However, the parents too should be willing and be ready to look at it from the angle of things are very expensive, and none of us as parents can confidently beat our chest that we can feed our own children at home with 300 naira a day. See, we all know the problem of insecurity in the country today. One, and that is the basic that I think the government is looking at. Then two, the feeding too. There is no way that any of these children would eat in the morning, afternoon, and at night, and we still be thinking 300 naira would do. In fact, ordinary biscuits for small puppies in nursery school is more than 100 naira. So if you are now thinking 300 naira, we should look at it and let everybody come together. We know the importance of basic education, and that is the reason why we shouldn't push these children out of school. And for parents that know that they cannot just afford this, then maybe some of them might have to just review this and see if their children will have to do the day program. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have not told us your own
Yes. So, first of all, I believe that we need to redefine what it means to be rich in this country, because we confuse ourselves a lot with, seeing people who carry phones that probably they begged and contributed money from their family members to buy, and we assume that they are rich. If you're earning 500K in this current time, you're not rich a month.
At all.
Because by the time you add up all the bills that you are meant to pay, you are not rich. Even if you're earning 1 million naira in this time every month, you are not rich. Except, of course, you're not paying any bill. That money just comes to your account straight and you're sleeping on it. You're not rich. So when I hear rich people attend such schools, I wonder what kind of a rich man will allow their children stay in schools where you have over 100 people in a class. Because I know I went to one of such schools. We have over 100 people in the class. The toilets are not so, they are manageable. If you go, you see the facilities. They don't have some of the equipment used for modern education in these times. Everything is manual. And you say rich people attend such schools. So you may have a few people who probably have something. You wouldn't call them rich to be going to that school. The way they even drag the slots for that school, you should know. Right? That's on one hand. Secondly, as a government, and a government that is trying to, sort of help the poor, right? What I know is that most of the time, the rich people are taxed more so that they can level up to take care of the poor. And with all the bills, like Tokwe rightly said from the beginning, electricity hike is there. We're still struggling with band A. Fuel is there. Subsidy is out. We are paying through our noses to get fuel. Food, we don't even have enough right now. And the prices are too exorbitant for Nigerians to pay for. And then a public school who collects, you know, the bare minimum just to put their students in school will not have such a quantum leap in such a short time without warning, like Mariam rightly said. It's not fair to Nigerians, right? And that's why a lot of them came out to protest. So ignore the fact that some of them have cars and some of them use iPhones. What's the percentage of the parents that have cars in such schools, that use iPhones in such schools, that carry SUVs? And so what's the percentage? Do you have a data to show us that, okay, out of this, so 85% of you people are from very rich homes, so you can afford it. We know that the majority of people who go to those schools do not have enough. They scramble to be able to put their children through school. And I also like the point Mariam made. For primary and secondary school should be free through and through. And this is where I'm going to be calling on organizations and people who do charity. They're always looking for where to put money. These are some of the things that you do to support your people. You go to the public schools, ask them. Exactly. Ask them, what are the needs of the school? There was something that came to my mind, which I was saying, I'm going to walk into one police station close to me. Let me even ask them, what are the needs of this police station? What can I do? What can I gather my friends to say, okay, in this our police station close to us, so we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have that. As individuals, you do that. We're constantly using money to do things that we don't need to do while people are suffering and everybody just minds their business. But government has to do its part because Nigerians are saying, and they're saying that, you people are not cutting costs of government. Expenses are going here, left, right, and center. You are shopping for this, you're buying this. Today, aeroplane, tomorrow, cars, tomorrow, furnishings, and all of that. And then the little way that you're sort of subsidizing education, basics for Nigerians, and you people are trying to squeeze. But we have a call on the line. From Ikorodu, good morning.
Good morning, DC. My name is Biola.
Good morning, Biola. Abiola.
Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you.
Yes, Abiola. Please, I would like to contribute to this topic because I am affected. This is my first time of speaking. I attended the federal government college in Cross River State back then in the 1990s. But the thing is this, whatever we pay then as school fees includes feeding, textbooks, and uniform. Now, Lagos State wants to move boarding fee from 35,000 naira to 100,000 naira within 48 hours of notice. To me, that is ridiculous. Personally, I didn't pull my child out of a private school because I cannot pay school fees, but I am no longer getting what I want in terms of valued education. Because as we all know, private schools are managing, they are struggling like the health sector now due to this Japa syndrome. Most teachers have left the private schools as well. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, a teacher is taking 3 subjects, will leave the primary class and go to the secondary class. The lapses will be there. That is one. Secondly, for you to avoid a good private school where the standard still remains, you need to pay through your feet. I am a private business owner, and business, everybody knows everywhere, it's not moving like it used to be.
Yeah, sure.
So you don't expect me to, I have 3 kids to the glory of God. You can't expect me to gather like 1 point something million to pay on a child. What happens to the other 2? My business definitely will go down. For Lagos State to say they are going to 100,000 naira from 35,000 naira, where they have their own staff, Lagos State teachers have their kids in those model colleges. The 70,000 naira minimum wage has not been implemented, which I doubt if they've even set up a committee to start on that. And you want such a teacher to pay 100,000 that has 2-3 kids in that school on a 70,000 naira minimum wage, and you expect that kind of a teacher to teach properly in your public schools without doing a side also in the school affecting the children they're supposed to teach? However, let's put so many things into consideration.
Yeah.
I am not saying they shouldn't increase.
Thank you so much, Abiola, for your thoughts.